Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, it's lovely to have you. But if you're old, hey boo, it's nice to have you back. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to make this beautiful, delicious Waakye Stew Amaria Style. Now this Waakye Stew is a total banger. You will love it, you would enjoy making it, and you will enjoy eating it. So let's get right into the video. Here are the ingredients that we're going to need. I'm going to list all of them in the description box below. So do check them out and then get your list together. Now today I've displayed all of my brands or my products that I'm using so that you can see the exact brands that I use. So if you want, you can use the same stuff. Go ahead and then get your stuff ready. First off, we're going to season our meat and I'm going to blend up all of the ingredients that I'm going to use. So in my blender, I have some ginger, garlic, I have some yellow scotch bonnet peppers, I added some anise, and then dry thyme as well. I'm going to add onions, which I just did, and a little bit of water and blend everything up together into a smooth paste. You can also go ahead and use your food processor for this. It works perfectly as well. So now that this is done, we're going to lay all of our meat into our saucepan. One thing though, I'm not going to add the Wele to it now. I'll add the Wele when it's about 10 minutes for me to turn off the stove, because Wele doesn't take so long to cook, especially if it's not hard. But if your Wele is really hard, then you might as well add it to the beginning. But I'm not doing that because my Wele is not that hard. So put all of that in there, and then I add some Badia complete seasoning. I'm going to add a little bit of Adobo as well. I don't season my meats without Badia and Adobo. I love them. Been using them for a long time. A little bit of salt. And then I'm going to add my spice mix. Once you pour it, there'll be some stuff in there. So just add some water, shake your blender up, and then pour all that goodness in there. Smells so good, so good. Now stir everything up together and add some water, and then we're going to put it on our stove to cook. Now I'm going to cook this until my meat is tender, and don't forget, I'm going to add the Wele later on. You will see it in the video. It's boiling nicely and the aroma is yummy. Now I'm going to add my Wele, stir it up together, and then cover it to cook for about 7 to 10 minutes more. Because I want my meat to be very tender. I have kids at home, so if you give them tough meat, even my husband doesn't like tough meat. So I like to make the meat very tender so that everybody can enjoy it. You know, sometimes when you go to Amaria's spot to buy your waakye, you're like, Amaria, I want the soft meat. Me pay a number because you want to enjoy your waakye and enjoy it well. It will okay oh lower wa on your you know what I mean. So yeah, our meat is done now. We're gonna take all of that out and then start frying it up. But you gotta keep your mind to it. Keep pushing yourself through it. Plenty effort will not kill you, man. Put that pressure into it. I give my best until it's time to close. But when that time is close. Now I set my pan on my stove and then add some vegetable oil. I'm using vegetable oil today. Next up, I add some curry powder to the oil, to the sizzling oil. You know this drill, if you've watched my jollof rice video, is amazing. And if you've tried it before, you can testify. Adding your curry powder to your oil, and even the meat smells so good, so good. So we're going to add all of our meats there. We add the beef, the bone-in beef. We add, if you have some liver, you can fry that as well. But for the soft ones, like the towel and stuff, we don't fry those ones. We just add them to the stew later on. So let's give this meat a nice fry. I don't fry mine too hard, like no, I don't fry my waakye meat that much because I don't want my meat very hard, like I said before. So I fry it just a little bit, just make sure that it is crispy, a little bit crispy on the outside, but equally juicy on the inside. After a few minutes, I give it a turn and fry on the other side as well. At this point, please don't be tempted. When you take your meat out of the oil, don't be tempted. Otherwise, by the time it's time for you to add your meat, you won't have any meat to add because this is delicious. It's so good. So, so good. With some wine or a glass of beer. Delicious. And don't be surprised if as you're frying, your husband or your boyfriend or your partner comes from the living room into the kitchen and starts stealing it. It's delicious. It's so good. It's inviting, crowd pleasing, very enjoyable. We are done frying, so we take them out and then add it to the other batch that we have. Then to the fun part, we're going to start assembling our stew. Now, using the same oil for our stew, we're going to add some blended onions. So pour all of that in there. Onions make our stews really good, taste good and delicious. So use as much as you can. Next, I'm going to blend my green scotch bonnet peppers. I have a little bit of garlic, about 2 cloves of garlic, and a little bit of ginger in there. I'm going to blend it all up for some nice aroma. And the moment you pour that into the oil, the aroma that's going to knock you is going to be very pleasing. You will love it. I mean, at this point, when you give it a stir, smells so good. That's when your neighbors, this dish, the whole time you're going to make it, don't be surprised if people are going to start knocking on your door like, hey, auntie, are you there? I can smell something nice. So something going on in your kitchen, eh? Smells so nice, so good. It's that good, please. It's very, very good. You're going to make this recipe over and over again. I can assure you that. So I added a little bit of tomato paste. Now, one thing about my waakye stew is I don't add so much tomato paste. Most of it is from tomato puree. I make my tomato puree and I add a lot of that, which I'm going to do in a bit. So you can see I added just a little bit of tomato paste. Looking at the quantity of stew I'm making, that's small. And then added the powdered chili on top, mixed everything together. Allow it to fry for about 5 minutes. And then I'm going to add my tomato puree. Now you see how much that tomato puree is. It's a lot. It's a lot of tomatoes that I blended and then I cooked to get the water out. Or I cooked it into a puree. So I add that to it and mix everything together. The stew is looking nice already, isn't it? It looks really good. In the meantime, guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly do so now. There's so many amazing recipes over here, as you can see. We have fun while cooking and we cook with love. So this place is filled with love. And that's what makes our meals delicious, because we do it with love, so much love. So subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button over there so that you are notified anytime I upload a new content. Next, I'm adding some shrimp stock cube and then nutmeg powder, a little bit of both. Now I'm going to be adding my seasonings and bits because I don't want it to overpower my stew. You don't want your seasoning to overpower your stew, and if you add a lot of it as in the beginning, you can't take out. But if you add it in bits, you'll be able to get to the level that you want and then you stop. And now this stew, you have to keep stirring. You have to be stirring and stirring and stirring, otherwise it's going to burn. So you need to keep stirring, stirring and stirring. I've been cooking this over medium heat and it's been about 15 minutes now and it's fried quite nicely. So I'm adding some of my stock to it now. I'm going to add the stock and mix everything together. Now the rest of the stock, I'm going to add some water and then add some of it. I don't want all of my stock in it because it had a lot of seasoning and I don't want all of that in the stew. So you need to be careful about that as well. So you see I added some water and then I poured a little bit inside. Now I'm going to add some fresh tap water as well into the stew to make it lighter because as it fries, it's going to get thicker and thicker. Our stew is looking good, looking good. We're getting there. Yes, so a little bit of water and then stir it all up together. Now that's the last bit of water I'm adding. I'm not going to add any more water until this stew is done. Stir everything together and allow it to cook for about 15 minutes. And you'd want to cover it because you can see what happened to the lid. All of that would have been in your face if you didn't cover it. You don't want to burn your face because of some Waakye stew over my sister and my brother. So please cover it and then get it on low heat so that she don't hurt herself. No kitchen hazards here. At this point, most of the water is out, so it's not splashing as much. So you can take off the lid and give it a nice stir. And you can see the oils are coming on top, meaning we're getting there. It's cooking nicely, pretty nicely. Don't forget, guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. And leave any questions in the comment section below, and I'm going to answer all of that. Now it's good time for us to add all of our meat into the stew. And then let all of the flavors marry. It's looking good already. Very good. I love the progress so far. So we're going to have this with some waakye. I'm going to upload the waakye recipe later on. So please keep an eye on the channel. Hit the notification button so that you're notified when I upload it. And then you can make the waakye and the waakye stew. You know this stew is not eaten with just waakye. We use it for that Hausa rice as well. When you're eating, you say, I want the Hausa rice and stew. That's the stew. This is the stew. So you add the meat, we add some Bayleaf, and then stir everything together nicely. You're combining very nice flavors here. Very, very nice flavors. I made this stew around 11 p.m. I was feeling quite sorry for my neighbors because I knew what was going to happen. All the aromas seeping into their dreams. Sorry, neighbors. You can make some too. So we added some salt to taste, and then I'm adding some rosemary as well. Just a little bit because it's strong in flavor. And I usually add rosemary at almost the end of my cooking process because it's quite strong. And I don't want it to overpower or take over my stew. So I add it at the end and very little. I'm also adding some stock cube because after tasting it, I figured I needed it. The stew is a lot. This pan is very big. The stew is a lot, so I needed that extra shrimp stock cube to it. And then finally, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of black pepper into the stew. And then that's the end. I'm not going to add anything more to the stew. And we are almost there. After this, we're going to give this stew about 10 minutes more to fry up nicely, like so. See, look how good it looks. I like to add some onions to it. This is totally optional, but I like that crunch I get in the stew. So I add the onions to it, and it also gives it this nice onion flavor. It's very nice, very delicious. So our stew is almost done. In a few minutes, it's done. I mean, just look at this. Look, it's wonderful. It's done. And this is the end of it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to catch the next video because I'll be announcing a big giveaway in that video, which will be our Waakye video. So thank you guys. See you next time. Until then, be safe, be strong, be loving, and protect yourselves and others as well.